Hey Top 10ers, what's going on? I'm your host Joss. Welcome back to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. To find us beyond this screen, give us a follow on all our social media. All of our links are down below, and make sure you stick around until the end because I handpick some of your comments and respond to them. So if you want to be featured in our next video, make sure you share your thoughts with us. We do not judge. Well, maybe a little bit. For many years, Disney has tried to uphold their image of being a family-friendly, squeaky clean, wholesome company. And they've done a pretty good job given the amount of scandals they've had. But somehow they seem to just brush them under the rug and continue on. I thought it'd be fun to expose some of their secrets with today's list of top 10 scandals Disney wants you to forget about. Sorry Disney, don't hate me. Starting off our list at number 10 is the Donald Duck Holocaust controversy. I feel like Donald Duck and Holocaust should never be in the same sentence together. Some would think the most controversial thing about the silly duck character is the fact that he doesn't wear pants. But nope, apparently no one even cares about that. Maybe you didn't even notice that. Back in 2012, Donald Duck appeared in a cartoon in Germany giving a speech to the Duckburg Fire Brigade, and there was a text bubble that was supposed to say, "Congratulations." However, someone screwed that up somehow and used the word Holocaust written in German instead. It was also published in the English original, and once people pointed out the so-called mistake, the magazine got recalled with editors going in and literally blacking out the word by hand while they printed a new edition with the correct word. Obviously, it caused a ton of controversy because it's hard to believe that someone would mistake the word congratulations for Holocaust. Just doesn't make any sense. And at number 9 is ride at United Kingdom takes off passengers' fingers. Yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. I don't think it really needs any further explanation, but I will give it to you guys anyways. That's kind of my job. If you've ever been to Disney's United Kingdom amusement park, maybe you've wondered why they tell you to keep your hands inside the car ride of the Pirates of the Caribbean. Well, back in 2014, a passenger found out the hard way. If you've never been on the ride, you sit in a boat that aren't just floating down the canal like you might think. They're actually hooked up to some sort of underwater railway that pulls your boat along the track using a series of chains. When you get on the ride, passengers are asked not to put their hands in the water, and now you can understand why, because one's fingers could get caught in the chains. That's exactly what happened to a British passenger who got his hand caught in the chains and ended up losing 4 of his fingers. Disney faced some heat saying that the ride should have a better system and that kind of danger should not be accessible, especially for a children's ride. But in my opinion, it's kind of like follow the rules. They told you not to put your hands in the water. What do you guys think? Is Disney to blame for this? Coming in number 8 is Disney being named Sweatshop Retailer of the Year. There's an award you do not want to win. Back in 2001, Disney was named Sweatshop Retailer of the Year by Oxfam Canada and the Maquila Solidarity Network. It was a part of the Sweatshop Retailer Awards, also known as the Sweaties, which is basically like Razzies but for terrible corporations instead of terrible films. Disney took the number 1 spot based on their awful working conditions in a handful of their Chinese supply factories. It was reported that these factories have employees working 90+ hours a week for a ridiculously low pay. Also, the workers were exposed to dangerous chemicals and they were living in overcrowded sweatshop dormitories. Of course, we can assume that they have cleaned up their act by now since it's been almost 2 decades, but our assumptions could be wrong because in 2016, more reports surfaced describing the same issues in different supply factories. Sliding into number 7 is the Donald Duck mascot being inappropriate. What is with Donald Duck? He has some weird reputation going on. One thing that Disney theme parks are known for is their huge collection of character mascots. People adore the meet and greet events where kids are able to interact and take pictures with their favorite Disney friends. But one person behind the mask of Donald Duck was a little too friendly. Back in 2004, a woman sued Disney World over the allegation that one of their actors dressed as Donald Duck had touched her inappropriately while they were posing for a picture together. The investigation revealed that several other complaints had been made to the Orange County Sheriff Department regarding similar allegations of Disney's mascots. The case was settled, and it is one that Disney really wants us to forget about. They might be more careful when selecting their actors now. And at number 6 is the Moana brownface costume. Moana was Disney's first movie to focus on Polynesian culture and was praised for it. Not to mention the movie had a strong young female lead, which was awesome. They gained a lot of respect and love from the Disney community, but then they had to go and ruin it all by releasing a Halloween costume. Back in 2016, they released a kid's costume based on the character Maui. The costume suit was a brown body bodysuit with his character's signature tattoos. They were hoping that kids would be excited to wear the Polynesian skin for Halloween, but instead it offended a lot of people who thought that it was brown-facing. Disney decided to pull the costume from shelves after seeing the backlash and released a statement saying, "The team behind Moana has taken great care to respect the cultures of the Pacific Islands that inspired the film, and we regret that the Maui costume has offended some. We sincerely apologize and are pulling the costume from our website and stores." To be fair, their apology was nice, but by that point the damage had already been done. Halfway through the list at number 5 is Animal Kingdom controversy. When it opened back in 1998, it caused a ton of controversy. It was known for its animals and how the theme park replicated wild animals' natural environment, and it was hoping to promote animal conservation. However, it ruffled the feathers of people from PETA, and turns out that their concerns were actually justified. It was reported that Animal Kingdom was responsible for 31 animal deaths. Among the deceased animals were 4 cheetah cubs who died after ingesting a toxic chemical, and 2 West African crowned cranes that were run over by park vehicles. An investigation was done, but Disney was cleared for any deliberate wrongdoing. Animal Kingdom is one of Disney World's most popular attractions and still remains open today. However, it still remains a controversy because just a few years ago it was named the 10th worst zoo for elephants in North America by animal rights group in defense of animals. Poor Dumbo. Like, what would Dumbo think of all this? In spot number 4 is Disney being charged for negligence, yet another lawsuit on their hands. Jeez, Disney. We all know how famously known Disney's parades are. They make their rounds on a set schedule and are loved by pretty much everyone and anyone. They are a lot of fun. Anyone who has ever been to Magic Kingdom will tell you all about the parades where hundreds of people gather to see the dozens of gigantic floats. Well, an incident happened back in 2004 when a Disney employee was dressed as Goofy and got into an accident during the parade. Turns out the Goofy mascot walked behind the float into a loading dock area, and the float's operator did not see the performer where he was standing. As the float started to move into position for the parade, it trapped the performer in place and left him with fatal injuries. An investigation had to be done by OSHA and Orange County Sheriff's Department, and Disney ended up being charged for negligence. They were forced to pay a pretty hefty fine for their unsafe labor conditions. Never a good look for a company. Here we are at number 3 with Song of the South. There's one movie that Disney fans will probably never get to see because it's so controversial that Disney has buried it for many years. That movie is a 1946 film called Song of the South. You might know the famous song from it, the Zippity Doo-Dah song, and if you don't, that's too bad because I'm not going to sing it for you. The song won a 1947 Academy Award, and the movie itself is what launched one of the most beloved attractions of Disney theme parks, Splash Mountain. The problem with the movie is that it was viewed as incredibly racist, especially if we're going by today's standards. The movie was about a former black slave amusing white children with fun stories and songs. The movie also had a character called Tar Baby, which was a very negative connotation for African Americans. To sum it all up, Disney refuses to release the film to home video and probably prefers that it remains forgotten and in the past. And I'm just ruining that for them. In spot number 2 is the Alligator Accident. A lot of people go to Disney World not knowing that it's basically built on top of a swamp. It has several family-friendly resorts where people felt safe until Disney gave them a reason not to. Back in 2016, there was a tragedy at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort where a family from Nebraska suffered from a very unexpected loss. While enjoying their time on the resort, a gator came out of nowhere and pulled one of the family members into a natural body of water. They weren't able to locate the body until a few days later, and it was already too late. After the incident, Disney was obviously mortified, and they have since removed all references to crocodiles and alligators from the Magic Kingdom. They don't want to remind people of what happened, I'm sure. This included the statue of Lewis, the alligator from The Princess and the Frog, and also the crocodile from Peter Pan. They have both been removed from various attractions. They also doubled down on its security and capture of the gators, but with its location it makes it difficult to get them all. Taking our number 1 spot is the John Lasseter sexual misconduct allegations. This is never good. He's a Toy Story director and was also the chief creative officer of Disney and Pixar Animation Studios. Back in 2018, he announced he was taking a 6-month sabbatical after sexual misconduct reports were made against him from some of his fellow employees. The allegations claimed he inappropriately touched female employees on several different occasions. Disney fans were wanting him gone for good and started a trending hashtag on social media, #LoseLasseter. Not long after, they did announce that after December 31st, he would be leaving the company. However, he did leave on a good note, which might be frustrating for a lot of people. Disney CEO shared a very positive statement about all the great things John has achieved during his time with the company. Then, John posted his own lengthy statement, and in it he said, I quote, "I am extremely proud of what two of the most important and prolific animation studios have achieved under my leadership, and I'm grateful for all the opportunities to follow my creative passion at Disney. Many employees didn't think it was fair that he was able to remain on their payroll for 7 months after the allegation claims, and think he deserved more punishment. But Disney probably wants everything to end on a decent note so that we can all overlook the fact that one of their biggest creators might have sexually assaulted people." Alright guys, there's our list for today. Click the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think down in the comments. For now, let's end the video by doing some comment shoutouts. Johnny GTCA13 says, "Loved it. So fun. Hella fine. Bis, I love you. On Jesus, I do. On Jesus. I don't think we're on that level yet." Kesdoug says, "Why would anyone bother to dislike this video? It's probably just one of my exes. Don't worry about it." Melissa Wiley says, "Hey Joss, I heard that in Canada if someone breaks into your home, I heard that it is against the law to fight back at all, and that your best bet is to leave your house. Is that true? Boy, I hope not. Just wondering." Why? You trying to break into my house? Cause I will defend myself and go to jail. I don't care. Just kidding. I honestly don't know the exact laws on that, but I'm pretty sure everyone would defend themselves. Kyla Runyon says, "Yes, Footloose should have never been remade." What? I love Footloose. I was in the Footloose play in high school. Random fact of the day. Well, that's all I got. We made it to the end. Be a friend and subscribe before you go. I'm your host Joss, and I will see you in the next video.